Good afternoon. My name is Cheryl Herky, and I do a blog every so often. Generally, it's about my nation, the things that are going on in my nation. But in recent days, I have come to a realization that I am an Israelite, and there's a whole story that goes with that. But I keep the feasts and I keep the Sabbath. So just recently, I watch I watch a lot of TikTok and YouTube because I'm interested in what people have to say. And sometimes I run across some really great things that I'm able to use and study later. But this particular one that I remembering for the last couple of days and just been thinking about it is people who are scientific went to a nursing home and selected 10 people who were in the nursing home. They were elderly, but they were still cognitive. They weren't needing any special care, so they could take them out of that environment and do an experiment. And the experiment was they put these 10 people who were relatively good health, but they were seniors, into an environment where everything in a home, there was 10 of them, was set up with 50s stuff. So 50s chairs, china, wall hangings, cars, everything was remnant of that time period. And that would have been at least 20 or sometimes 30 years previous to what that person had experienced living as a person, vital person in the 50s. And so when they brought them back within 2 weeks, they found that their cognitive abilities were better, that they could see better, most of them. Some of them could hear better. Basic things that were going bad for them, because of age, was actually had improved. So the note is that our minds are extremely powerful. That what we think about and we think about ourselves, when we think about our bodies and how we take care of ourselves, can determine our age of our bodies and your mind and your eyes and all the good stuff that we want to keep in play and to keep going well. Well, last night I went to my very first, it's a Torah Zoom. I found people who, particular person, is actually a Jewish person, and they converted to Christianity, and they are now doing Zooms about the Torah so that people like myself who have not really studied it, just because I'm a New Testament person, that kind of person, that we are really not Christians, we are Israelites, because the whole Bible is preparing us for a time when Christ will return. Now, he came the first time, he was raised from the dead, he was with his people for, I think it was approximately 30 days, and then he went up with the Father. And during that time, he was there. He said many times that he was to save the lost tribes of Israel. So that's the premise that I look at everything from, is that after Christ has left this earth, we're waiting for the next time for him to be here. And at that point, it'll start the millennial reign. And during the millennial reign, the Israelites who have been here, who kept the Sabbath, who kept the 10 Commandments, who acknowledged the family within the family, the remnant, and have relationships with people who are also remnant, that we will be running the earth, that we will have spiritual bodies similar to what Jesus had, and we will be running things. That's why they talked about all the mansions and the crowns and all the things that we're going to have, not as people who are bad Christians or just maybe barely Christian, but people who really want to see this next phase come to pass and build something for God. Everybody will learn about the Torah. People will learn about the all the feasts. They'll learn all about taking care of themselves. On Friday is Shabbat tomorrow. So what I normally do on Friday is I usually clean the house and make sure I have food prepared for 2 days, because you're not supposed to work. And what we learned last night is part of that not working is not having anyone in your house work. That would be if you had children, anybody who normally works for you wouldn't work. And then going out to dinner, you don't want anybody to be working for you while you're going out to dinner. So during that time from sunset Friday to sunset Saturday, it's internal. And what I learned, and I make that reference back to what happened with the elderly people, is that this is a mindset, that I have a mindset to be an Israelite, and that I want to, in my everyday life, exude the salt and light of being an Israelite, wanting to train for reigning in a time coming in the future. And but I'm doing it now with the people who have the same thing in mind. This is very simple. I know I've said it before, but these feasts and stuff never went away. They were basically stopped by the Big C church, and they made it Sunday. And their issue was that they were against the Jews, because they were in their minds, that the Jews killed Jesus, so therefore their holidays are invalid, and we're just going to make a whole new thing. And of course, what that did is people no longer understand or know how to execute the feasts, the seven, and they are unaware that their lifestyle, putting other things before God in their day, is actually detrimental to their relationship with God. And I loved talking to the ladies last night, and I was just listening. It's a mindset, but it's also everything we do is to worship Yah. All of life is about making Him understand that He's the most important thing to me. And that takes time. So taking off from Friday night to Saturday night, that makes your whole life stop for just that period of time so that you can actually think clearly. And I think in our culture, we stay so busy because we really don't want to think. We really don't want to think deeply because we might cry. But I enjoy this thinking deeply because now I have a reason to do it, and I have people to do it with. So that's what I was thinking about today. And I trust God, I trust my Yah, that you will understand as the weeks and months go by how wonderful it is to have a purposed, in life that's driven. My day is driven. Got to make time for Yah. Got to make time for Yahweh. I mean, it's part of my everyday thinking now. I hope you have a lovely day today. I hope that you, in your mind, even if you're not going to celebrate Shabbat tomorrow, that you will think about what I'm saying, and that you'll maybe go to the scriptures and look around and see, as I found, that there is just no excuse anymore. There's enough scripture that we absolutely should be keeping the feasts. We should be thinking about the Lord every day, even before our jobs, because I think that's changed in our culture. The culture is you live for your job, and then it's a mindset. And just like those elderly people who lived in the 50s for 2 weeks, they became younger. They became in their mind back to what they used to be. I can become and you can become an Israelite by changing your behavior, your home. I have my menorah. I have people on my Zoom. I mean, life is changed, and only for the better. Blessings.